Hey there, Broncos country. You won't believe what Sean Payton just did. You're not going to believe what Sean Payton just pulled off. While everyone thought the Denver Broncos had their backs against the wall, the old fox went out and snatched Lil Jordan Humphrey straight from the Giants' practice squad. And this wasn't just any signing. It was like stealing Coca-Cola's secret formula right under their noses. The Giants are freaking out on Twitter now, asking, why the hell did we let this happen? And I'll tell you exactly why. Because Sean Payton knows what he's doing, and this guy is the secret Chiefs killer that nobody's talking about. Stick with me till the end because there's a bombshell. Detail about Pat Certain, too, that's going to blow your mind. Man, let me tell you a story that sounds like it came straight out of an NFL spy movie. Wednesday morning, George Payton picked up the phone and made a call that changed everything. On the other end of the line, Lil Jordan Humphrey's agent, Jimmy Gould, and the conversation went something like this. Hey, how about bringing your guy back? Home? Broncos country was like, wait, what? And look, I get the reaction. Earlier in the season, when the Broncos let Humphrey go to the Giants, a lot of people were confused. The guy had played 554 snaps last season. He was the second most used wide receiver on the team. Dramatic pause. But Sean Payton is like that chess player who thinks 5 moves ahead. He let Humphrey go, signed Evan. Ingram thinking he'd fill that big slot blocker role. But Ingram didn't reach the level everyone expected. The truth is, the Broncos' short passing game in 2024 has been like that friend who promises to show up at the party but never does. And here's the thing. Last year, with Humphrey on the field, the short passing game was fire. Bo Nix could deliver those quick balls. Humphrey would catch them and still break off another 15, 20 yards after. Against the Chiefs? Man, don't get me started. 8 straight wins against the Chiefs in recent matchups when Humphrey was on the field doing his work blocking like a tight end disguised as a receiver. According to ESPN insiders, including Adam Schefter himself, Humphrey is very likely to play Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. And this isn't just any signing. It's a clear message. The Broncos aren't here to play around. Now pay attention because this is where it gets interesting. Why is Lil Jordan Humphrey so crucial specifically against the Chiefs? Reason number 1, the guy knows Sean Payton's system like the back of his hand. He played with Payton in New Orleans for 2 seasons before coming to Denver, then played 2 more here at Mile High. This guy breathes Payton's playbook in his sleep, no adjustment period needed. Reason number 2, Kansas City has one of the fastest defenses in the NFL, but know what they hate? Big physical blockers on the perimeter. And Humphrey, at 6'4" and 225 pounds, is exactly that. He can seal off those small Chiefs, defensive backs, and open up lanes for the running game. Pause. Speaking of the running game, with J.K. Dobbins out, someone needs to step up. And guess who's ready? R.J. Harvey. Sean Payton came out this week and basically crowned the guy. He has what it takes for a long career. He's going to keep getting better. And look, after that receiving touchdown from the backfield against the Raiders, man, the kid's got confidence for days. Jaleel McLaughlin is also chomping at the bit to get on the field. And don't count out Tyler Beatty. The Denver Broncos running backs room is deep, people. Very deep. And here's a theory I have. Denver might be hiding a surprise. Because if you're Andy Reid preparing for the Broncos, what do you expect? A defense without Pat Certain too, right? An offense dependent on passing because the starting running back is injured, right? Wrong. With Humphrey back, the Broncos can completely flip the script. They can go heavy. Running game, use play action, put Patrick Mahomes on the defensive. And look, the Chiefs are coming off terrible games. They got beaten by one of the worst offenses in the league. Patrick Mahomes looked lost back there. And speaking of paranoid Chiefs, did you see what went down with Geron Christian? The Broncos snatched the guy from the Cowboys practice squad. And then Chiefs. Fans started crying on Twitter, the Broncos are trying to steal our secrets. This is cheating. They only signed him to learn our playbook, people. Seriously? First, Geron Christian has been through 1,000 teams. He even won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. So if anyone has old Kansas City intel, it's information from years ago. Andy Reid has changed the playbook like 47 times since then. Second, the Chiefs did exactly the same thing last year when they signed players from our practice squad. Nobody complained, but now that it's happening, to them, oh, it's different, right? The hypocrisy is real, people. And you know what the truth is about this signing. The Chiefs have serious problems on the offensive line. Their starting left tackle disappeared for 3 weeks without even telling Andy Reid, and Chiefs fans were literally saying that signing Jaron Christian would be a good move. So when the Broncos do exactly that, suddenly it's a conspiracy. Please, this week's roster moves were all strategic. There's nothing about espionage. It's just George Paton doing his job, building a deep, versatile team ready to make a long playoff run. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Pat Certain II. The guy is the reigning DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year. He's like that superhero who shows up at the most critical moment and saves everyone. Pat Certain II makes everything work. The guy has allowed 0 touchdowns this season, only 189 receiving yards allowed. He literally erases an entire side of the field. So when Pat Certain goes on the Closed on Sundays podcast and says he's recovering like Wolverine from X-Men, man, that's not just talk. The guy is sending a message. And the message is, I might be back sooner than you think. Terrion Arnold, Lions. Cornerback asks, can you do a push-up? And Certain responds, I can. I can do a push-up. People, if you have a pectoral injury, what's the hardest movement you can do? Exactly, a push-up? And the guy saying he can? Here's the thing. Sean, Paton is known for playing mind games. He's told the story of when he was coaching the Saints preparing to play the Cowboys. DeMarcus Ware was on the injury report all week. Nobody expected him to play. And then the guy just shows up, running through the tunnel and wreaks havoc the entire game. Paton loved that. And now, Pat Certain is doing push-ups. He's saying he has Wolverine blood. He hasn't been placed on injured reserve. If I were Andy Reid, I'd be sweating right now. Because imagine the scenario. You prepare all week assuming Pat Certain won't play. You draw up specific plays to attack the young cornerbacks. You're confident. And then, Sunday, 2 hours before the game, Pat Certain is out there, warming up. Boom. Mind game dominated. Now, realistically speaking, I don't think he plays Sunday. It would only be 1 week ahead of schedule. And with pectoral injury, you don't want to risk it. But if he plays, if Sean Payton really pulls off this masterstroke, man, the Broncos win. Simple as that. Here's an inconvenient truth for Chiefs fans. You're not invincible. At 5-4, the Chiefs are in their worst position in years. For the first time in a decade, they might not win the division. And you know who's mainly responsible for that? U.S. The Denver Broncos are 8-2, leading the division, coming off a streak of 7 straight wins. And these aren't lucky wins. These are dominant wins. The timing of all this is perfect. Humphrey returns right in Chiefs. Weak Marvin Mims clears. Concussion protocol just in time. The Chiefs are playing poorly. We're at home. It's primetime Sunday afternoon. Everyone will be watching. If you were writing a movie script, it would be exactly this. So here's what's going to happen Sunday. The Chiefs will show up confident, thinking they have the edge. And then, first drive, Lil Jordan Humphrey comes in, throws a crushing block. R.J. Harvey explodes for 15 yards. The Chiefs are like, wait, who is this guy? And that's the whole game. Surprise, speed, physicality, execution. Nick Benito is going to put Patrick Mahomes on the ground at least 3 times. Marvin Mims is going to torch their secondary for a long touchdown. And maybe, just maybe, in the fourth quarter, Pat Certain II appears on the sideline with a smile. Or maybe not. Either way, one thing is certain. The Denver Broncos are back. Mile High Magic is back. So Sunday, 1 p.m. in Power Field at Mile High. Tune in with us because it's going to be epic. Subscribe to the channel, comment your prediction for the game, and share with every Broncos fan, Do you think Pat Certain plays Sunday? And if he does, how many points do the Broncos win by? Broncos country, let's ride!